Scott Morrison is the opposition's immigration spokesman. He says the problem at Villawood is due to a failure of the government's policies.
I think Australians are very tired of waking up to detention centres burning and police being attacked. I mean, it's happened on far too many occasions. It's a rolling crisis and the government has clearly lost control. What happened is in August 2008 the government changed their border protection policy that they inherited from the coalition, and this is the inevitable consequence of those decisions.
But does it come down to the fact that they're taking a long time to process the detainees? Is that the problem?
Well, when you have almost 11,000 people turning up and 210 boats, the system gridlocks. The system collapses under its own weight. I mean, our detention network was never built to cope with this level of policy failure. And as distressing as the scenes are that we see today, and as angry as I know all Australians are about the conduct of those asylum seekers we're seeing and the detainees, at the end of the day, this is a policy fire, and a policy fire that this government has been unable to put out.
But what do you think should happen to the protesters?
Well, immediately they should have sanctions. I mean, for those who have had their claims rejected, they're not refugees, and the government should be taking immediate steps for those who are involved to be returned. For those who are still being processed, whose claims haven't been considered, there should be an immediate sanction. Their processing should be suspended, subject to further police investigations. They should go to the back of the line, and those who are behaving themselves in the detention network should come to the front. Now, this is what the government didn't do after the last crisis, the last riot, which was only 6 weeks ago. We called on them to do that. They took no action, and surprise, surprise, the riots continue.
Well, the government isn't interested in your Nauru offshore processing idea, so is there any other way to process them?
Well, we need to have checks, and if ASIO need to take the time they need to take to assess people as to whether they're a security threat or not, then they need to take that time. I mean, that's our system. You don't just get to come and impose your claim and demand to be released from detention and to enter Australia. I mean, we have a system. If they choose to come by this method, you will be detained. And this sort of behaviour will not advantage your claim. I believe it should actually sanction your claim, and that's what the government's failing to do. But the government has no answer to this. I mean, the